And welcome back to Opally Hour, and we are on day 2 of our jungle secret territory. I actually think it sounds really weird saying territory because it's a house, but okay, alright, that's what it's called. I reckon it's a interpretation thing going on. So this is how we ended up. So you see a little bit of blue stain down here, but not terrible, and I think overall it ended up looking really quite pleasant. There's a little one here too, you can see more clearly actually, and I think it looked rather beautiful. So we will be continuing using our gold marker. Remember, if you're using the paint that they provided, then that works too. We are starting with a table, and again for speed I'm just going to use B7000, and we're going to do a couple of things here. One of them is we are going to give a little plate here some gold, gold rim, how cute. Haven't seen gold rim crockery for a while. Not even sure they still make it. I'm sure they do. It used to be a big thing, gosh. So I'm just going to go around the edge. If you're using a paintbrush, then you'll be doing the same. And I'm doing this first because I want it to have a moment to dry. And then lastly, this. And it does actually go on, because in its plastic piece, it does go on quite well, doesn't it? And that's our gold edged, I'm trying to think of the right word, edged plate. So we'll get back to that in a moment. Go to one side, mate. Come on, my friend. So we're going to make a little tea table. Now, I do have all the dogs here today, so can't swear that we are, is there any decoration? No. Can't swear that we're not going to have some disturbances until the big ones go for a walk. Juliet's not going today, because I haven't organised it yet. But I will be. So it doesn't go all the way to the edge, but I'm not 100% sure how far away from the edge it needs to be yet either. So when we start to put these little ones in, which I'm going to do now, then we'll have a better idea. So, do they have any decoration up? Nope, they are plain. Look at here. They may be settled, they may not. I went ahead and put that on. Did a little bit of adjustment on this leg because I don't want the glue to dry. And then we're going to put this other, actually I think we just put the short one on. So, like I say, it doesn't have any decor on. I'm going to make my tweezers messy because I just got the tweezers. And you can see that that's not even. So a bit better. And then the long one, and that can sit to one side for a moment. Won't be long. And then this one goes in here. And haven't kind of really seen each other on a regular basis the last couple of weeks because my son's been off work. But we are back all of this week, and the sun's coming in on me. So just even it up so it's about the right space all the way around. A bit more, my friend. Too much. Wiggle, wiggle. Still not 100%. They are so going to burst out in play. Okay, they're definitely not settled. But there we have it. It doesn't look terrible. It's not 100%, but it's, I think, good enough. So then they get you to put all the little bits in this plate and then stick it on the table. I'm going to do it the opposite way around. I'm going to put the plate on the table. The B7000 is definitely the best glue. Put in plastics, I think, on. Might be a day full of interruptions. They go for the walk, maybe soon. Alright. She's asking them to play with her, actually. Oh, she's come to settle. That's good. Alright. No, not quite. I'm just going to cover her up if she's not really settled, and then we're also going to put a teapot on here too. Now I'm thinking this was a charm too, but I reckon the charm element is actually the handle which works, and this is roughly how they have it positioned. Now I have no idea what these are meant to be. I'm assuming they're cakes, but I couldn't swear to it at all. So the easiest way is really just to stab them with the end of your tweezers. If you got sharp tweezers, take the end, pop a little bit of glue on, and put it in your tray. And you have 3 going to go in here. So I really want it a little bit more central than where it dropped. Maybe I shouldn't have touched it after all. Oh man. I guess not. Or maybe what I should do is the other way round. Put a little bit of glue on here on the inside. You can go back on. I hadn't told you to leave the building there. Wants to stick to me. Okay, and then try again. It's more like where I want them. Now she's trying to settle. It's difficult really, because I'd like to get the recording done in the morning, but they just have had a night of sleep, so they're I'm on her blanket, so they're also got quite a bit of energy. But I know I'm going out later on an appointment, and got glue on the tweezers, not helping. Pin to the rescue. Haven't done. I mean, I've done on and off, like the big houses, like the Twilight type series and things like that. And there's 3 of those. They contain small parts, and some models do too. It's not like I haven't done any. Even some of the book nooks has some small elements. Can we have you sitting? And then lastly this one, which I don't think there's going to be enough glue, because I think the others have been very greedy and took it all. Should have put the teapot on last, I knew that too. Patience. Deep breath. Hands are shaking. Let me get that on. Alright, okay, and I'm quite happy with that. Probably should have gone back a bit, but I can give it a bit of a push. That's how that looks, which I think looks rather cute. Took a moment to do these. Should not have taken that long. Alright, next we are going to be dealing with making a sink. So there's quite a lot of pieces involved in this, including some paper elements, some boards, some very small paper elements, and apples. So we want to take our paper and we want to cut 60, so 6 centimetres by 5 millimetres, so very small. So let's get these scissors a bit better with paper. So 6 and 5 is going to be over here, give or take. For what we're doing, it definitely doesn't have to be precise. need that for the rest of today. Then we take this and we roll it, or scrunch it together. They say, what do they say? Rub it into strips. Well, not rub it into strips per se, but basically you want to fold it over and then make it round, as small as you can. If I can get it all folded, then we can start there. More successful in some places than others. And then scrunch it together. My hands are like, well, we don't want to do this really. Not twist it necessarily, just roll it really. Let me get that done. Okay, I was unsuccessful on rolling. I actually think it's easier just to twist it. And then most of it, just keep twisting in places that it didn't overly work. And it's probably okay to have ends that are not done. So that it's quite a tight string. Basically what you're doing is you're making a string with it. Okay. So as tight as you can, because where this is going to go is small. So I'm going to cut off the end that I didn't twist. Make sure it's done like this, and then these, we get another pair of tweezers. These tiny little ends you are going to stick in your bead, and this is why you need it small. Now you want to cut this into 6 if you're feeling confident in that. And then pop it in with some glue really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop a bit B7000 on the bottom into the hole, and we need to do 6, and then just cut it, and this is the stem of your apples. Now each of these need to go on the plate, which we also need to rim with gold. So let's get the rimming done, and what we do is we're putting that on the bottom anyway, is we can put it straight on the plate. So let me get the rimming done first. So it's already a gold plate. Are we rimming it? No, making stuff up. And then we can put this one straight in, and I'm going to put it right in the middle of our plate. And we need 6 in there, so I'll take another one. Now normally I would do it on the plate, but as I struggled with that other one, I'm going to do it this way. So again, put it in there, put a touch of glue on the bottom. You could cut all 6 pieces ready to go if you wanted, but me being me, and do it this way. Okay. Then another one. Do this 6 times. So you get the idea. Let me get and do that. Alright, and that's what we end up with. So you will have some left, so there's plenty of it, so you can just keep cutting away. I just found it easier to cut them in the bowl than separate. Didn't even get any glue on my tweezers, shocking, right? And then we can put that to one side. So next, I'm kind of doing it a bit out of order here. We have some flowers we can do. We'll do those. So we need 3 of these stems. It says 3 flowers, but I think it means 3 ends, because otherwise that would be 6, and I don't think it would fit where it's going to go. So I've just cut them about where the pink colour in it ends on here, so I'm going to get 3. Now the pot that these are going to also needs a sticker. So I think that's what it means. I couldn't swear to that either. And that's going to go in this little thing. So we do want a little bit of glue, and then we'll do the metal part before we start getting the paper element sorted. So just put this in. May need more. P7000, so you just want 1. I can squeeze them all in first, and then I push them down a bit. 2. What do come out? 3. There. It's looking pretty good till then. Okay. So hopefully you saw that might have been off. That's also going to have a label on it. And then the last thing we're going to make prior to doing to building it is a tap. So for this you want, how are they doing this? Okay, it's going to be in 2 parts. So I have not cut this to size yet. I'm going to do it on the long stem. It's quite thick. So the first one's 5mm, so around here. And you're going to bend that. Then you've got about 1 centimetre, so about here. And that's going to go straight down, like so. And then it needs cutting. A little bit more up, something like that. And it needs cutting at 1.4. So that I am going to use my board for. So around, I'll show you if it's, I don't know if you'll see it on the camera. So like so. Now theirs does look a lot longer than this, by the way. No, that's what we have. Definitely looks a lot longer. And then we are going to do another one, which is 4mm, so very small, and by, so it's an L, you're just doing an L, by 4mm, so much smaller than what I've got. Mine's too big. And that's that dealt with. And that is going to go on the reverse of this side. So get your glue and just stick it to the bottom. So it's going to go on like so. Now it looks like it's flat, but when I see it, it's at 90 degrees, it's not flat at all. So we want it up, something like so. We'll pop that just to one side over here. Alright, so that's that for the moment. Right, let's make this. I'm going to need it again, but I don't need those anymore. Actually I will, I need them to cut out the stickers. Okay, so first things first, we need to cut this out and to cut the sink out. So I'm going to use this as the template for that. So I'm going to get my other scissors for this because it's paper, and cut along here, one edge. I'll just cut it all. So I'm just going to do the outside. I'm not doing that small square in the middle at all yet. And I'm not doing anything complicated with this except for the fact of, so I'm just going to go down on either side. I'll catch those in a moment. So it's nothing really complicated on this, but what I'll do is I'll put it on the wood and then cut it out with my crafting knife, the middle part. I think it's going to be easier. I used to cut all my edges too, and I was going to, but I think I stand more chance of getting it wrong, basically. And then this way up. Don't cut yourself. And into here, up to here, onto here, and then this one here. Okay, now we have a couple of, we have another one that we're going to need to cut out, and this one's a lot quicker. Do they put this on straight away, or do they make it before putting this one on? Yeah, this is like one of the last things they put on. So I've always found it easier to put these pieces on before, while the wood's flat, rather than doing it upright. But they do want you to do this one, I think it's because it's going to cover the edge. I'm still going to do it there. Okay. Now I have got, if I find it, I have got a scraper thing. You can use credit card, old credit card, probably not one you're using, to do this too. So all I'm going to do is get some beacon, and that's beacon 3-in-1, which I find very good for paper to wood. I don't think I've had so much success with it on fabric now. I don't know anymore, to be honest with you. Like I've said, it's quite, I just haven't used it much. Just put it on here. So you don't want to leave beacon on the wood too long, because it will start to dry quite quickly. So I'm going to pop this in on here, just to the corners, and then I'm going to give that a moment. And he does not know what he's barking at. Oh, it's postman. That's very important. It's good to see my regular postman back. He's been off for health reasons, I think, for a little bit. Then, once you're happy, just go along here. Now we are going to need to poke the edges down on this one too. Now, whenever you use a blade, a thing to scrape your glue, make sure you clean it as you go. So this one, because I think we need to, it's dead on, never mind. We'll do this first then. I thought it was going to cover the edge, but it is not. So I don't know why they get you to do this when it's flat. It doesn't make any sense. When it's put together, makes no sense. Doesn't matter which side you do on this. Let's get your glue. Now when it comes to putting the sticker on that vase with the flowers in, I'll just use B7000 for that. Make sure you're happy. Does have a slight going over, that's okay. Right, that's done. Come on, taps, don't die on me. Taps don't want to stay at 90 degrees. That's better. Then we're going to put these edges down. I should have folded them first with the sharp edge with a ruler. It makes this a lot crisper. I know that too. But here we are. Okay, again, going to use some beacon on the edges. When it comes out, come on, my friend. There we go. So I get all of them at once. Makes it for a crisper edge if you use I can't remember the name of the tool, like a bridle thing. Bridle, it's not bridle, that's for a horse. Bridle? It's a sharp object. And then just get your edges on. Might take a moment. If they had have been scored, gosh, that's a close enough word now. If they'd been scored, they would actually stick a lot easier because they'd already be in shape for what you want to do. Careful not to get too much glue on it. I'm getting it on my hands, so the likelihood is, and I could very well put it in glue on the paper too if I carry on like that. Obviously with this it's really too small area to use something like that. And this we won't need for a while. And then making sure it's down all the way. This would have been so much easier to have done before. Okay, take your blade basically and just go inside here. Now I have not changed my blade, and I used to change it between every model, but I did not yet. I should. Cutting the wood well there. I can see those edges are already coming up. Right, just put on. Give that another go in a sec. And pop it through. Don't pull it though. If it's not all the way through, it's just do it again on that corner. And hopefully you'll get quite close. Now again, they get you to do this in a bit of a weird way. They get you to make it up now the sink, and then they're gonna get you to put a little bit of silver paper in. Now it's very flimsy, and how much they want. Don't get any glue on it, so if you've got any gluey messes, put it to one side. Size wise, it's 27 by 22. You could almost use this too as your template if you wanted. 27, so around here. Probably going to use this paper for something else. I bet they have a mirror. I know you can't see anything right now. I'm just cutting it 27 by 22, that's all I'm doing. Let me get that cut out. Now it's shiny both sides, so I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. It's the same either way. So what we're going to do that edge again, and we are going to paste it on the back here. And I am actually going to use, I was just putting my beacon away, but I think I am going to use it because I can spot it easier with this. As long as it's not giving me strings that it wants to do. Just little blobs. And now this is a one deal, one day. Put it on once. Otherwise, if you have to move it around, it's gonna smudge. You don't want it smudge. And when you have it, it will look like so. Right, now let's put it together. Back we go. We're going to put that end sides on. They don't have any paper on them whatsoever. Just double checking this because surely they're going to be a different colour for this. Why don't they have any paper on? I guess no one sees the sides. Okay. So we are going to pop some on top. Checking because sometimes things are the opposite, but it's not in this case. One on each side. That way around then. Towards the front. I need to see where the cooker is then. That's the front. Opposite way then. So towards where the knobs are for the cooker. And then one on this side too. Like this. And then we give that a moment to take. And then once we've done that, making sure it's the right way, this will go on here. So we do that as well. You can move out my way for a minute. So what we want it with this one at the top. Double checking myself. Line that up. These pieces are definitely on wrong then. Why are they higher? Well, they're square anyway, so it doesn't matter which side they're on. But they are higher than what this would be. I think this. I think this goes on top. So I think we need to push these back. Just when I did it while it was still wet. There we go. That's better. So the oven piece sits on top of what's going to be where the cooker is. And then we end up with that. Which looks all fine and dandy. Nice and shiny. So then we put our little bits and pieces on. So give me a moment. I want that to have a little bit of standing. I will get the taps on. They have them right in the middle. Back here. And I give this a moment to take because it's going to go all over the show otherwise. And I have mine on the opposite side to how they want it. I want it that way. So then I put these on. Like so. But upright. Alright, let me get that supported. Alright, that's done. It should be okay. Just see I propped up. Oh, okay. I lied. But it may not go diagonal. So next we're going to pop this on. So I was going to use some P7000 for the label. So I just cut it out while I was waiting for that to dry. You don't need to see me cutting things out, I'm sure. I can't say it's even a therapeutic thing to watch. Maybe it is, I don't know. Different things. And you want it the opposite of how I'm trying to put it on. Like so. That might be easier if you bent the labour first. Probably would have been. Definitely would have been, being it's going round, side round. You want it roughly in the middle. Stop sticking to me now because I got Beast of 1000 on me. Something like so. And now it's stuck to me. I'm going to put it on there. And it's going to sit in this corner. Come on. Off. I can see that label's curling off. I think I've got more B7000 on my thumb than I do on the vase. You know, we've had this conversation in the past. Okay. Alright, then we're going to put wings on here. So I think what I'm going to do is we're putting our frying pan on next. So I'm going to stick our thing on the bottom here, and then use the prongs with no string would be nice to go on here. Don't like this frying pan, it looks childish in reality, but, and then our kettle, which has this on the top. And get rid of that. It does say to get rid of it as well after you've put it on though, but it does say. And this one is also going to sit on top of one of these. It's never going to work. And let's pretend it will. Probably my tap support is going to get in the way. And we need the tap support still. And then this is going to somehow stick to that tiny piece. And get the right angle if you could. Go around the camera, that's definitely in the way. And as expected, the teapot, there we go. I was going to say goes inside it, but if you balance it just about right, you might be able to get away with it. Come on, taps. It's going to take a bit longer to do. Now, the next thing they have, which is the bit that confuses me, is they put the apples in the sink. I think what I'm going to do is put them on the edge here, or maybe even over here, or maybe just keep them out for now and wait to see where I want to put them. I think I'm going to do that. I don't like the idea of them being in the sink. Why would a bowl of apples be inside a sink? It's not logical for me. Okay, I'm going to put that to dry, doing its thing. I can get off the paper. Okay, and we'll move on to the next thing. Alright, next we are making a cabinet. So we have to deal with metal. We have quite a lot to deal with. I'm hoping we're going to get it done within a reasonable time. Have some paper elements, all sorts of bits and pieces that we need to sort out. And first of all, I'm going to do the gold edging. So again, if you're painting, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not even that delicate doing it with these brushes, but a little bit. So just go around the top of what's going to be the top of your cabinet. Now they get you again to do it while it's on, when it's all made up, and I know it's way beyond my abilities. Then they want you to go around that edge of each of these doors with a paintbrush. I'm not even going to get that clean with this. I doubt it. But we will try. And I think we put the handles on here too, so we'll probably try and do that first as well, rather than doing it when it's upright. And the wire that we're going to use in this is thinner wire, believe it or not, than the other one we use for the taps. And it's that thin. Seemed thinner. So either that or I picked up the wrong wire and there's another one in there, but I don't think there was. So something like that. However neat you can get it. And you know, don't sweat it if you're not getting it very neat. That's what I'm going with. Let me see, they're doing 2 handles at 5mm each from here, and I think that's the only reason we need this. So I'm going to get the B7000 down on the doors. This one is quite off, isn't it, on the gold? So you want them roughly even, so get the B7000 going. I was going to stop at the sink, but I reckon we could do this. We will see. So 5mm, doesn't have to be dead on. Although that's probably not too far off. And then another one around here. Let's see how close they are. This one's a bit longer. If I can get them to be together. Come on, be together, my friends. It's a tiny bit longer, but I don't think it's anything too much to worry about. And then I've obviously got glue on these tweezers, so those need to go for cleaning. And then put them on. And same with this. Now they get you to put this on once it's constructed, by the way. But I'm obviously not doing that. Now it looks quite a bit longer, doesn't it? I think it looks longer. In a bit. Come on, we can get there. Alright, so that's that. Then we are going to use one of these, and we want this one, and that is going to have which label? Because they have it opposite way round to what I have, that way. And it's going to have not that one, not that one. Well, I have 37. Okay, so cut this one out. Right, let me cut these all out, and then we got them ready. Okay, all cut out. So I'm going to get all these stuck on at once so I don't lose them really. So I'm going to need a bit of B7000 on you. A bit, she says, and plasters it. A bit on this one. Pretty bead. And also on this one. Still got B7000 on me for making the other one. Put those tweezers for cleaning. Let's grab some more. My last bendy ends ones. So I want this one, which has that pattern on it that's going towards the bottom. And bottom or top, it doesn't really matter at this stage. Just get it on there. Sorry, I might have been off camera. Don't know anymore. Okay. Oh, no, don't come to me. Should have left it, it was fine. However, I do want it up a bit. Okay, let's pop that to one side a moment. Get rid of some of the stickiness. Then this one is just going to have our dot in the middle, give or take. The dog walker hasn't come. I need to contact my son. Maybe they're not coming today. And this one looks like it has the writing from the top. And I find it easier with these ones, if they've got this, they're on one of these, to leave them on there until I'm done with what I'm doing. Okay, this one's actually completed now, so it can be cut out. If we can get it straight, would be good. And in the middle. Right, let's give those a moment. I'll contact my son. Okay, I have sent a message. Right, then, easiest way I've found, and many different ways. Take the next bead, very, very, very cute, very decorated, and these have mushroom top buttons going on them. So take your B7000, like so. And pop it through your bead. Now, because it's a mushroom top, it doesn't go all the way through. Come on. So I'm getting it in there. My goodness. I keep missing. Okay. I'm going to leave that to one side with the pin. If you'll let go of me. Okay, then we have another mushroom top one going to go on this one here. So, slightly different process. I don't know which way round is the right way. Looks like. I think it's a bunch of flowers, so it's going to go on here then. I think I'm button short as well. Let me grab that, and that just goes on the top. I had it better first time round. Oh, it stuck to me. Okay, let go, my friend. Okay. Then grab another one. Many different types in here. This one. Grab that pin. I tend to just throw the pins afterwards, by the way, once I've used them. So this one goes. The pin's going to go through here, and again I can do the same thing as we did on the first one. Put a little bit on here. It's more than a little bit, really, and see if I can stab it the right way. Mummy. Okay, and again, line it up. It is easier when you've got the ones which go all the way through, by the way. Right, those can line up and be drying. Now let's move on to the cabinet itself. So, we have 4 pieces of wood, identical. No difference whatsoever. So we want one here. Let's lay it down. Let's make it easy. We then want to put our cabinet front on, and that sits on top of the other one. So that's on the bottom as well. So it goes on like so. Then we have another one. And we're going to want some on this edge. Goes on top of it. Okay, move you on up, mate. And that'll start squaring it off as well. And we do have another shelf. I'm going to see what we're going to put on it. And we have one at the top here, and the one at the top exactly the same. No difference. But for this one, I want to see what's going where as to what the height is. It should be equal. So the tallest thing is actually going to be this bottle that we've done. So we just want to make sure. I will cut it out now. Wow, things went everywhere. Just get you what sits. And let me just file that down. Grab my first file that I can find. Just so it's a little flatter on the bottom. Go to one side. And this is going to be where you want your height roughly. It doesn't go here. But it'll give me a better idea. To make sure I clear it with this shelf. So I go in something then like so. Oh. And there's no backing going to go on this, so just try and get it as square as you can. Come on. Wasn't as helpful as I was hoping. Give it all a bit of a push. Right, now before it dries, I can put this piece on last, but before it dries, let's get the bits in. So we want teapot down here, bottle on that, so there's that teapot. And if you get everything in, if you need any adjustments, you can do them. Okay, let's go this side. Let's do it like this. Put a few in. On the stubborn side, it's got a glue strand going with it, along with my hair. Then the bottle. Too much glue around. Switch tweezers. Well, everything's very gluey, too gluey. Okay. And the white one. And then we're just, was my patience was going, so it was better to turn you off for a moment. Okay, and then do the same with top shelf. So just go off. This one's first. These tweezers already got messed up, with the handle going towards the edge and it going above the teapot anyway. Something like so, followed by this one. Very pretty bead actually. And then this one, and then we turn it over and rectify any problems, hopefully. I want the shiny bit at the front. Come here, you. You don't want to play with them. They would be difficult for me. It's like why I don't play there at all. Bottle's a pain in the blooming neck, I can tell you. That's what my thoughts are. One pair of short tweezers, pointy tweezers over, and they all need cleaning. Alright, that's what we end up looking like. Which I actually think look, oh no we don't, I lied. Then we put this on, for what about you? And just in time. Okay, just going to quickly pop this on, but the dog's going to go off. Alright, so this is what we did today. I've tried to draw as many curtains as I can which might reflect, because my little kitchen is rather reflective, but I think that looks rather adorable. I'm surprised they don't get you to put little beads on these, or gold bits on there. I'm going to check that they don't do that actually. Nah, they don't. That would have looked pretty cool though, wouldn't it? Would it have been too much? Maybe. I'm not really going to see it, I guess. Anyway, their kitchen cupboards are a lot smaller than the cabinet ones. Oh, let me knock it over. Alright, so I think this finally took. So this they have displayed literally in the sink, and I haven't done that. I don't know where it's going to go yet. It will go elsewhere. I just think it's too bizarre for my head to deal with putting a bowl of apples in a sink. Hey Juliet. Alrighty guys, so any comments very much appreciated. Do please like and subscribe if you have not already. Most of all, take care of you guys. Bye bye now.